Welcome back, everyone, to week 188 of the Light Codes Transmissions Messages. Today, before I started my class, there was a little bird had flown into my apartment, and he was trying to find his way out of the window. And this is we just looked it up. It's a little tiny little bird that you get here, little warbler, Egyptian warbler. And they make such a sound of song, and it was trying to find its way out the window. It had come through the door, the window was closed, and the window is always to do with the soul. And when I look up what the warbler means, it is to do with the voice and finding your voice. So this is finding your soul voice. Don't allow your soul voice to be trapped, because the little warbler had for a moment got trapped until I went out and, shoot him out or open the window, and he found his way out. And so this is about finding your soul voice, being true, staying to the truth. And the first vision that I had today in the to do with our direction and our soul's direction was this path. It was a very smooth, straight path that looked like was freshly laid concrete path, and somebody standing to the side, stretching out and aligning with it. So it was really about our time, our direction now is to align with our path. And in the Omega chakra today, what I saw, now this is actually to do with the soul's path. So the direction is to align with your path and your pathway. Today with the pathway, there were a lot of keys started coming through. So activation keys, which means that our pathways are now ready to be activated so that we can move forward on them. And I also saw two hands of the masculine and the feminine. They were towards as if they were going to hold each other's hand, but there was something that was linking them together. And the message I felt, it wasn't about being trapped or bound or anything like that, but it was more to do with that now you have come to this achievement of the balance, the masculine, feminine coming together, be it if you come together with your twin flame or it is your own evolutionary self of having risen and ascended to the point where you have your fully developed masculine and feminine chakras. This is not going to be lost now. You have achieved this degree. And if you haven't got there yet, when you do, you won't lose it again. It's a really strong symbolism of having achieved that great degree of balanced and unified masculine and feminine, ready to walk the path together. When the other thing that was happening was when I was unifying their chakras, the creation codes start to come through, and the creation codes were in relation to creating the future and creating what the masculine and feminine missions are doing together. What we are doing, it was to do with creation, and the creation codes were starting to bring that into form. As all of the chakra system became unified today, and seeing that whole unification of the one unified chakra anchored at the heart, I saw this beautiful light-filled pathway, and behind this pathway it led up to a temple which reminded me very much of Queen Hatshepsut's temple that backs onto the Thebes mountain, because this temple was, I couldn't decide if it was Queen Hatshepsut temple or simply a temple that was like that, but it backed up into the mountain just as Queen Hatshepsut temple does. And standing in the foreground on this, there was a lot of light. The pathway, the temple, that whole thing was emitting this great light. And standing there was Jesus, and he was wearing blue, as he wears that blue capey thing. And so he was standing there waiting for people. As I looked at the temple, there were people walking up towards the temple, a small spattering of people walking up to the temple. Queen Hatshepsut's temple is a mortuary temple. So this is like, for the memory everlasting. And of course, backing into the Thebes mountain, great significance here. And Jesus was waiting for the people. And this vision stayed a long time as I continued out with the sound codes and the activations that were coming through. And the longer it stayed there, then there was a lot of people, crowds of people actually climbing up the steps or walking up the steps towards the temple. So this is very significant of showing us that people are ready now to actually make that transition through to, pass through the underworld, if you like, to go through that phase, to move through that phase so that we can move into the eternal life or the ascension. And after this vision, I saw a king and a queen. It was still in this same area, so it's still the temple area, and it was a king and a queen, and the king was lifting the queen up and placing her into a carriage, and she was also wearing a soft blue, like Mother Mary blue. And then the crowns that the kings were wearing, they were not Egyptian crowns, they were just crowns of a king and a queen, which is symbolic of having attained this degree of mastery. A king and a queen are able to, hold mastery over a realm or govern a realm, which means that we have reached a degree of mastery that we are now our own masters, to govern our own worlds, our own realm. And so this is showing the degree of mastery that has been attained. And the king placing the queen into the carriage is the vehicle that's going to lead them forward. The energy with the king and the queen, while they were wearing a crown, I also felt and saw briefly that this king and these crowns were also very much like veils. So like the bride of Christ, or the bride and groom energy of the masculine and feminine having attained this degree of mastery to now be ready to take lead forward in the mastery of your own lives, or our own lives. As we moved on, it went into the energy of a high priest, and this was, very, very, very much the high priest. I don't know how else to say it, but he was a high priest. So this is like us connecting in with the high priest part of ourselves. So the highest self, really connecting. You've attained that degree of mastery that you are able to work that higher self energy, that higher self wisdom, and bring it forward. There was a lot of different visions happening today. The next vision that came through was of a Native American Indian chief. He had a very big headdress on of feathers, and he was sitting, like this. Standing, very strong, very in charge, very holding his ground, very determined. And this is also that we have come to this power, this strength, use it, show your strength, speak your voice. And then the final vision for today was the ancient Egyptian god Ptah. And it was a very, gigantic statue of the ancient Egyptian god Ptah. And Ptah is a creator god. So again, this is saying that we are now creating our world. We are creating the world that we are moving into. So that energy is there for you to access. So in the brow and the sacral, we were receiving the creation codes, and to help us to create the future, the new world, the area that we're going in. And in fact, all the way through today, there were a lot of activation keys and keys of Enochian wisdoms. So unlocking those wisdoms that have been locked away for eons. So we are now ready. We have reached a time where we are ready to have full access to our full consciousness and to activate that full consciousness and bring it forward. And I've been seeing this in a lot of my clients lately as well, that they have been taken to another level. So today's light codes activation is actually giving us those keys to help unlock us and to move us forward. And you'll be able to access those in the links below. And a big apology that I haven't actually put last week's on my shop yet, but that will happen today. So the first card that I drew today is card number 23. So it's talking about the change, that we are moving forward in the change we are creating through our own gifts of our own inner power, and we are making the change to step forward into freedom. And the card itself says bust out of your cocoon. So it's almost like maybe you've been through a bit of a dark night, or you've had experienced a tower moment, and a tower experience, which is like, you know, your whole world falling apart, everything's just gone to chaos, you know, everything seems to be so much. And this is like, now it's time to climb out of there. You can bust out of your cocoon now, because things are about to change. Changes are coming. Be in your truth. And the second card today, card number 12, which is a 3 card, also reminding us of the Christ consciousness codes. That's what I didn't say in the vision before, when I saw Jesus standing there waiting. The sound and the light codes that were coming through while that vision was there were the Christ consciousness codes of Sirius, bringing those Christ consciousness codes there through there. So it's like he is bringing that forward, offering that forward for you. Now we are ready to receive. And now we're not only ready to receive, now we are ready to activate that Christ consciousness within ourselves. And so the 12 card is reminding us that it's called awakening, and it's Archangel Gabriel. So the awakening into the Christ consciousness, and Archangel Gabriel calls, he's calling you, calling us, you know, to wake up, look at things from a different perspective. There may be a temporary standstill, but it's really important to really tap into yourself, your higher self. This is be yourself. You know, I want to go deeper with that. Be connected with that high priest, that higher self part of you. And this angel, Gabriel, with the trumpet calling, answer the call, answer the call. You're being asked to step up, stepping into your power. Your dreams and wishes and dreams can come true with your purpose. So this is like activating your purpose, the beautiful soft energy of the moon, bringing your wishes forward and allowing you to intuitively follow the calling of your soul's purpose, and moving that forward there. And in the heart, we have card number 9, and it's to do with darkest fears. And what I want to say about this card is, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? If you stay within your connected with your heart, there's nothing to be afraid of. And if you look at this, you know, here with the eclipse type energy coming across here, where is your focus? Are you focused on the dark, or are you focused on are you focused on the dark that encroaches upon us? Or are you focused on the light that is coming, the light that is available for us? So, you know, face your darkest fears and remember to focus on the light. Don't focus on the darkness, focus on the light. Where is your focus? And this next card is in the throat chakra. So this is about the truth. And when I drew this card, I actually saw the card moving. It was as if it was alive, or it came to life. And rather than it being like, oh, I've been left out in the cold, everything is gloomy, miserable, and life sucks, and, you know, got a broken leg and whatever else is going on, this really felt very much like they were walking away, moving away. They recognized, here we are, the change. The 5 Pentacles, they're bringing the beautiful new energies coming forward of change, and that they've had enough of this. They're walking on the snow. This is the white, the light, the path of spirit. And it really felt like they were walking away from this these hard times. So that's what's coming forward. That really felt like that. It's like now we're moving forward, because it literally sort of came to life in front of me. And the Brow Chakra today is Ascended Master El Moria. And Ascended Master El Moria teaches us to stay true to thy will be done, not my will, thy will be done. And he says clear your energy field with this card. But this is about allowing yourself to step over and ask on a daily basis, or intend, thy will be done, not my will be done, thy will. And allow yourself just to let go. If you say that every morning, thy will, or thy will be done, and let your day unfold, you will walk towards a higher path. And the Crown Chakra card today is King Solomon and priorities. So again, it is about prioritizing your spiritual purpose, your path, your body of light, staying focused on the higher perspective, and tapping into, you know, the greater energies, the greater wisdoms. Again, this is like the high priest that I saw in the visions. The high priest, King Solomon, he definitely was a high priest, and you know, accessing that higher self energy and activating that, because the keys, as I said before, the keys were coming forward to activate the Merkaba, activate the vehicle of light, activate the higher wisdom that is within you. And the Omega Chakra card today, our soul's pathway card, find the blessings in your current situation, and it's Krishna. Now, Krishna is Christ consciousness. So we were receiving the Christ consciousness codes today, and I saw the Christ consciousness energies being offered to us by Jesus the Christ in the visions today. So bringing forward that Christ consciousness, we are ready to activate Christ consciousness. And the Alpha Chakra today, the direction is, you know, work your magic with Saint Germain. So work your magic. This really is asking you to step up and use your magic in order to help others, and in your soul's purpose and your soul's pathway. There's very much time to work that magic. And here again, we have the Merkaba, the vehicle of light. Activate that vehicle of light. Activate the energy within you. So very powerful messages coming through. This is the last light codes activation message for November, and so next week we begin with the Christ consciousness codes of the 12th month. So it's actually there we're being led in with the Christ consciousness by Krishna, by Jesus, by the Christ consciousness codes that we're coming through today, to help take us forward into the month of Christ consciousness, which is the month of December. So awesome and powerful, and you can get your links to purchase the light codes in the links below. And that's it until next week for December. So over and out for November. November was an amazing month. We had a lot of wisdom teachings coming through for November, and I'm really interested to see what December will hold. But my feeling is it will probably hold a lot of Christ consciousness codes. So we shall, and sounds. So we shall see what happens there. The energies were, you know, today were so strong. I'm finding it difficult to keep my eyes open. So I'm going to go and finish off my class, and I will see you all next week.